Fayette County school leaders say they're coming up with a plan to fix radon issues at 9 schools. What parents tonight need to know about it.
The Cats now know who they'll be playing in their first SEC tournament game. What Coach Cal said today about his team as they prepare for the postseason.
If we have to do bake sales, we'll do it.
A Kentucky animal shelter is asking for your help as workers care for a dog badly injured in an accident.
This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening. A round of heavy rain moving across much of the state tonight, and it caused a few high water issues in the bluegrass.
Sarah sent us this eyewitness picture from Scott County. It shows a flooded creek in Stamping Ground late this afternoon. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking that rain that's moving out tonight. He has your no-wait weather forecast.
Yeah, guys, parts of Scott County picked up greater than 2 inches of rain earlier today, along with Franklin County. The big winners or losers, depending on how you look at it, in terms of the rain. The front bringing all the heavy stuff across the region, now settling into southeastern Kentucky. That is kicking out the warmer air, replacing it with a mild brand of air. What your Defender radar network is picking up on now across the bluegrass region, just a little bit of light rain, heavier bursts of rain into eastern Kentucky, but overall things are beginning to wind down as we make our way into the overnight, and tomorrow morning it's more of a nuisance light rain or shower action, maybe just some out and out drizzle to be noted. 52 degrees into Covington, behind the cool front, upper 50s across most of central Kentucky. Look at Harlan, 70 degrees still at this late hour. We hit the low 80s across much of southeastern Kentucky. What about the day tomorrow? Well, we're not going to see low 80s out there. So it's a more typical brand of mild air for this time of year, 60 to 65, not as warm, a shower or two around tomorrow morning. Skies, though, will brighten up a little bit as we go deeper into the day. This takes us into the weekend. Guys, I've got the weekend planned out for you for everything you've got to do outdoors. The hour-by-hour forecast will show you your Saturday and Sunday in great detail, and I'll tell you heads up at 11:13, we're going to track some thunderstorms on that hour-by-hour.
All right, Chris, thank you. It is a problem they say needs to be fixed as soon as possible. Tonight, Fayette County school leaders say 9 schools have higher levels of radon than they consider acceptable.
Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas that's associated with health problems after long-term exposure. Tonight, school leaders began laying out a plan to get rid of it. Monique Blair has our top story at 11.
Schools in Kentucky are not mandated to test radon levels, but after finding a higher radon level a year and a half ago at Locust Trace, Fayette County Public Schools decided to test the radon levels at every school and also set their standard the same as the EPA's residential exposure level, which is a 4.
During this routine testing, we have discovered that some levels exceed the EPA's recommended threshold.
9 Fayette County Public Schools have tested at a level of 4 or higher. To provide some comparison, OSHA's permissible exposure limit for the workplace is a level of 100.
We had a high of 15.8, and we had a low of 4.
Who was 15.8?
15.8 was Harrison.
Okay.
And that's one sample.
Who was 4?
4 was Scapa.
Now the school board needs to sign off on $570,000 to fix the radon levels. Beginning over spring break and then finishing up in the summer, that money will be used to make various changes at each of those 9 schools, whether it be drilling into the foundation or sealing off problem areas. Anything to bring the radon level at each of those 9 schools below a level of 4. A letter was sent home with students at each of the 9 schools Thursday saying, quote, "There are health risks associated with prolonged exposure to high levels of radon, but please be assured that the levels in our buildings did not approach that level of concern."
We're going to make sure that the radon is well within the acceptable limits or ranges.
In Fayette County, Monique Blair, WKYT.
All 66 schools in Fayette County have been tested. Each school will be tested every 5 years. Also tonight, the Fayette County Board of Education electing Melissa Bacon as its new chair. She was the board's vice chair. Current school board member Amanda Ferguson was elected vice chair tonight. The previous board chair, John Price, died last month after battling cancer.
We are learning more tonight about a shooting that injured a Simpson County Sheriff's deputy. State police say Deputy Eddie Lawson was serving a warrant at a home in Franklin this afternoon when he was shot in the pelvis and knee. They say he returned fire, hitting the suspect in the arm. Police say that Lawson was taken to the hospital where he's listed in stable condition tonight. They say the suspect, 28-year-old Ben Wyatt, is also in stable condition at a hospital. New tonight, a judge has sentenced a man who admitted shooting a child in Lexington. Alberto Pineda Contreras received a 25-year prison sentence for assault and wanton endangerment. He fired shots at a family's SUV in Lexington last year. Antonio Moreo was 9 years old at the time. He was shot in the head and badly injured. His mother says he still requires full-time care. After today's sentencing, she read a statement to the Lexington Herald-Leader outside the courtroom.
I do have one question to you, Mr. Contreras, and that is one simple word: why? Why did you do this? Why did you have to take our lives and rip them apart? Why did you hurt my beautiful son?
Antonio's family is trying to raise money for a service dog to help him. We have a link to a GoFundMe page at WKYT.com.
State health leaders have confirmed Kentucky's first case of the Zika virus. They say the patient recently returned to the Louisville area from a trip to Central America. They say he went to the doctor after developing a rash and fever and then tested positive for Zika. State health leaders say the virus is most often transmitted through mosquitoes, but they say it can also be transmitted through pregnancy, sexual contact, and blood transfusions.
Again, we're learning more about the virus, but we know the virus is potentially circulating in the blood and other body fluids at the time that people are sick.
And doctors say the Kentucky man with Zika virus will make a full recovery.
The Big Blue Nation is ready for March Madness, and tomorrow night the UK basketball team will begin its run in the SEC tournament. Tonight we found out who the Cats will be playing. Rob Bromley joins us now from Nashville with the latest.
Here in Nashville, it has been tournament basketball all afternoon and into the night. Alabama defeats Ole Miss 81-73, so the Cats get the Tide Friday night at 7 o'clock. And Kentucky defeated Alabama twice during the regular season. The Cats will have the Big Blue Nation here in force behind them, but Kentucky will still have to come out and play.
We had support in games we lost on the road. We've won road games in some tough places to play, and other places early in the year, UCLA, Ohio State, a couple league games on the road where we had big leads and lost them. But again, a young team. Scott wasn't playing. We're just now getting it together.
So for the third time this season, Kentucky will get Alabama. The game will start at 7 o'clock, SEC quarterfinals on Friday night. In Nashville, Rob Bromley, WKYT.
For more UK and SEC tournament coverage, check out our website, WKYT.com, or the WKYT News app. She has had a rough life so far. A dog in Menifee County suffered life-changing injuries in an accident. And
now she has a really tough time just getting around. But the animal shelter hopes that her story will inspire people to help her out. Garrett Weimer explains new at 11.
You can see it in her eyes. This dog has been through a lot.
We had to make a choice last Saturday, either euthanize her or take the second leg off.
But Renee Nichols didn't give up on Shay.
I mean, I just didn't think I could do it, to be frank. She's just such a great dog. She's loving. She's not, she likes everybody.
Against all odds, Shay hasn't given up either.
Yes, I'm a good girl.
But for a special dog like Shay,
we're committed to it, and we're hoping that everybody else wants to help her too.
Her friends have much more in mind.
We're hoping that we can get her a wheelchair so that she can motor like she always does.
It'll cost them about $650 to get Shay a wheelchair like these from Eddie's Wheels.
With the hot dog?
It's a lot of money for a shelter like Menifee County's, a county where more than a quarter live in poverty.
Actually, her total cost of care is probably, a good chunk of the change for the whole year's worth. If we have to do bake sales, we'll do it.
Whatever it takes.
I know people do look at it and say, did you do the right thing? I know they do, but she's such a great dog.
Nichols says it's worth it for a dog who has a lot of love to give.
She can live a long life, and she's just such a special dog. We want to do it for her.
In Menifee County.
Good girl.
Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Beautiful dog. The shelter hopes to raise $1,300, enough to cover the wheelchair and Shay's surgeries. If you'd like to help out, you can find out how to do that, how to donate on WKYT.com and the WKYT News app. She just grabs your heart, doesn't she?
She has beautiful eyes to suck you kind of in. More tough talk tonight from the candidates as the four men left in the Republican presidential race gather for another debate, the latest in 9 minutes.
And then a judge has ruled in a legal battle between Bristol Palin and Dakota Meyer over custody of their baby daughter.
It's time to wake up. You've got things to do, mouths to feed, work to get done. It's another Kentucky morning, and Kentucky mornings start here.
Good morning, I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith.
You don't have time to waste, so we don't waste your time. Simple as that. Breaking and overnight news, weather to plan your day, plus traffic you can take with you. Make WKYT This Morning part of your Kentucky morning. Weekdays from 4:30 to 7 on WKYT.
Clients come into the office. The government has said, no, I don't believe you. You're not disabled.
The major problem with Social Security disability is that most people who sign up are denied at the initial level. If your claim's denied, don't give up. Call us immediately. We'll appeal your case.
We can do an effective job of representing you that will get you the benefits that you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast, 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
At Stones and Granite of Lexington, we'll top off your projects with the finest marble, granite, quartz, or natural stone. Get luxurious results that only look like you spent a fortune. Call now for more information on our monthly specials. Take us for granted at Stones and Granite.
Hi, I need a safe car.
The Camry's really safe. 10 airbags, even has a backup camera.
Wow, that could come in handy.
Bye. Dad!
Gotta keep my little girl safe.
Don't worry, he'll only be like this for another 10 or 15 years.
At least.
It's Toyota's One for Everyone sales event with 0 for 60 financing plus $500 bonus cash on Camry, or $1,500 customer cash, or a $179 a month lease.
Here you go.
Toyota, let's go places.
Don't miss your chance to see Flashdance, the musical. One girl, one dream, one chance. What a feeling.
Variety Live presents Flashdance the Musical, April 12th at the Lexington Opera House.
I'm WKYT's Barbara Bailey, and I stand for Kentucky.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Corridor, very heavy rains kind of brushing central Kentucky a little earlier today. Some areas, though, picking up a little more than 2 inches of water in a short amount of time. Look at that sharp cutoff, southeastern Kentucky. Not picking up on a whole lot. Then you see the darker greens into north central Kentucky and back toward the west. That's greater than 1 to 2 inches here. And we had some flooding reports coming out of the Stamping Ground area in Scott County a little earlier. Defender Radar Network still with a little nuisance rain into far southeastern Kentucky. Flow, those coming in from the northwest. Normally that's a cold flow. It's just a little cooler flow this go around. And that means drier and slightly cooler air for your Friday across most of central and eastern Kentucky. So you kind of get best of world in terms of the rain, and if you're not really into the heat yet, or 70s, which qualifies as heat this time of year in my book, we'll cool it down to the 60s tomorrow. How about that one? Northerly winds, you can see that coming straight off of the Great Lakes. That little bubble of warmth still across southeastern Kentucky. How warm are we southeastern Kentucky? We are still very close to 70 degrees. As a matter of fact, it is 70 into Harlan. Low 80s we're showing up today into southeastern Kentucky. It is 52 degrees right now into the northern Kentucky area. Tomorrow morning, everybody should wake up to mainly overcast conditions. Chance for a shower or two where you live. Deeper you get into your Friday, better the chance you get a little sunshine. Temperatures 60 to 65 degrees. That is still above normal. Had we not been spoiled rotten over the past few days by the 70s, we'd be talking about what a great day tomorrow is with a 65-degree high. Hour by hour forecast, we've got you covered for the weekend, making some plans. Let's break it down for you. Watch your timeline here. Pick out the hour that best suits your needs. Maybe pick out several hours that you're looking at for the weekend. Noontime tomorrow. Notice how northern Kentucky breaks out into a little sunshine. Southern Kentucky, we keep a little more clouds. 60 to 65, though, for the better part of the afternoon. How about your Friday evening out on the town? Any worries for rain? Not so much. It should be mainly dry. Here comes a warm front lifting to the north as we go into Saturday morning. How can you tell it's a warm front? Look at Covington, 47. Now look at southern Kentucky, 64 degrees. That warm air surges its way onto the north. We shoot up into the mid and upper 70s in some cases on Saturday afternoon. That will also increase the humidity factor too. It may feel a little muggy by March standards late Saturday into Sunday. You know what muggy means in March? Showers and thunderstorms. Look at that Sunday forecast. Saturday's the best day of the weekend in terms of mainly dry conditions. As we go toward your Sunday afternoon, showers and thunderstorms that can be locally heavy at times. Additional rains on top of what we have picked up already over the past couple of days. Should be on the tune of a ½ inch southeastern Kentucky to maybe an inch and a half or 2. That's just by 7 o'clock Monday morning into parts of central and eastern Kentucky. So plan accordingly this weekend. Saturday looks to be the drier of the 2 days. And we do spring forward. We lose an hour of sleep, gain a little sunshine. Next week looks interesting by the end of the week with colder air coming back into play. Typically the last freeze around here is the 2nd or 3rd week of April. So green thumbs. I know we're a little anxious. We're a little excited with the 70s over the past few days. Just hold your horses a little.
You've been talking about doing something with your lawn for a few weeks, so we're getting close now, aren't we?
I'll tell you what, you're going to hear lawnmowers humming over the next week, too, after the rain.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
You bet.
A strange crime in Madison County. How police say a highway worker was assaulted while putting up a speed sign in 7 minutes.
How do we put our incredible buying power to work for you? With Power Buy, Power Financing, Power Upgrades, Power Coupons, free TVs, and more. It's our Power Sell-a-thon for a limited time because
nobody beats P-Rats.
It's Furniture World Superstore's biggest tax refund sale ever. Now's a great time to redecorate your home because Furniture World stretches your tax refund with huge savings store-wide, plus 2 years interest-free. Now at Furniture World, use your tax refund to refurnish your living room or dining room, update your bedroom, sleep better on a comfortable new mattress. We're serious about saving you big money. Get huge tax refund savings, plus it's interest-free for 2 full years. So hurry in and save during our biggest tax refund sale ever. Now at all 5 Furniture World Superstore locations.
Join Morning Point Foundation as it hosts an evening with Kim Campbell, wife of country music legend Glenn Campbell. Kim will share her message of hope about her family's personal journey with Alzheimer's disease. This free public awareness event takes place March 15th at 7 o'clock at Ashland Avenue Baptist Church in Lexington. To reserve your spot, visit morningpointfoundation.com or call today.
Are you happy with your bathroom? I wasn't. But for years, I didn't do anything about it. Like many people, I thought I didn't have the money until I learned about the brilliant solution from Bathfitter. Bathfitter puts a new bathtub right over your old one. Isn't that amazing? Bathfitter will measure and make you a new custom bathtub that they install right over your existing one with beautiful matching walls. That means you don't have to rip out your old tub, so there's no demolition or ridiculous costs. And they do it all in just 1 day. That's my favorite part. Plus, you get to choose everything. Book a free consultation and find out for yourself. Here's a before and after photo. This is a gorgeous acrylic tub that fit right over the old one. And only Bathfitter has seamless walls, which guarantee a watertight fit. When you change your tub, you change your bathroom, and that can change your life. I know because I did it. Call today or learn more at bathfitternow.com.
how do we put our buying power to work for you? Get a free lifestyle power base upgrade when you buy any premium mattress at $14.99 or more. CertaPerfect sleeper with gel memory foam. King for a queen price, $9.99.
Nobody beats P-Rats.
The Republican presidential candidates faced off tonight for their 12th debate.
It was billed as a more serious discussion, and there's a lot at stake as they head towards several primaries next week. Marley Hall has the latest now from Miami.
I cannot believe how civil it's been up here. Thursday night's Republican debate delivered on its promise to be a kinder, gentler discussion of the issues. Before a packed Miami auditorium, immigration was a hot topic. Senator Marco Rubio spoke out against the H-1B visa program that some companies use to hire foreign workers.
And if a company is caught abusing that process, they should never be allowed to use it again.
Frontrunner Donald Trump, who admitted using the visa law, agreed.
Well, I'm a businessman and I have to do what I have to do, and it's sitting there waiting for you, but it's very bad.
When Trump accused Ted Cruz of flip-flopping on support for ethanol, Cruz responded.
If you have a candidate who has been funding liberal Democrats and funding the Washington establishment, it's very hard to imagine how suddenly this candidate is going to take on Washington.
Trump defended his earlier comments that Islam hates America.
You can be politically correct if you want. I don't want to be so politically correct.
Rubio said that's not the way to defeat radical Islamic terrorists.
You can be correct without needing to be politically correct. We are going to have to work with people in the Muslim faith.
Ohio Governor John Kasich made his case on economic issues by touting his successes in his home state.
When I went to Ohio, we were $8 billion in the hole, and now we're $2 billion in the black. Our credit is strong. We're up 400,000 jobs.
Tuesday's primaries include the winner-take-all states of Ohio and Florida. Marley Hall, CBS News, Miami.
Right now, Donald Trump has a 100-delegate lead over Ted Cruz, who's in second place.
New tonight, a Laurel County woman faces charges after police say she left her 4-year-old son home alone. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office arrested 27-year-old Ashley Gray. Deputies say they were called to a parking lot where they say Gray was screaming and disturbing people nearby. They say they soon found out the child was home alone. The child is now with other relatives. Deputies say Gray admitted to smoking meth. She's charged with wanton endangerment and disorderly conduct, among other offenses.
Tonight, investigators believe that some road sign thefts in Madison County could be connected to the assault of a county highway worker. State police say the worker was putting up a speed limit sign on Meadowbrook Road Tuesday afternoon when someone driving by hit him with a cattle prod. The worker was not seriously injured. The Madison County Highway Department says $9,000 worth of road signs have been stolen this year, but investigators cannot catch the thieves.
We have recently installed some cameras to try to catch license plate numbers or people who are stealing the persistent signs. And lately they have even got to the point where they've stolen our cameras.
The Highway Department says they also found a message spray painted on a road that said, quote, "It's on." A northern Kentucky community will party this weekend to help rebuild an historic business. The 185-year-old Rabbit Hash General Store burned down last month in Boone County. A Cincinnati television station reports the Rabbit Hash Bash will be held this weekend in Fort Thomas. The money raised will go to help rebuild that store.
New tonight, we have learned Bristol Palin will share custody of her baby daughter with Kentucky native and Medal of Honor recipient Dakota Meyer. According to People magazine, an Alaska judge awarded Palin and Meyer joint physical and legal custody of the girl named Sailor Grace. The judge ruled the baby will stay with Palin in Alaska, but Meyer will be allowed to visit twice a month for 4 consecutive days at a time. Meyer had gone to court seeking custody.
Lee K's in next with sports, and the Cats set to open play tomorrow night in the SEC tournament, Lee K.
Yes, they are, and Kentucky will need to beat Alabama for a 3rd time this season. This afternoon, John Calipari met with the media in Nashville, and could Swaggy Cal be back? Hear what he has to say about it next in sports.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on Rewind 105.5.
Welcome to Carpet One. Visit our tile and stone gallery and explore all the options available for your next kitchen or bathroom project. Our showroom is filled with hardwood, laminate, and engineered vinyl. Let us help you find the perfect floor. Come see us.
In Kentucky, elder abuse is on the rise. Most nursing home residents say nothing in fear of retaliation. Watch for signs, bruises, scratches, bed sores, and cues in body language. If you suspect nursing home abuse, you need to seek justice. Call Hughes & Coleman, 800-800-4600, 800-800-4600, before it's too late.
AltSmoke Vapor Lounge specializes in a variety of electronic devices and refill liquids. Let our team of experts help customize your vaping experience. Stop in and see why we are Lexington's premier vape lounge. Touch, taste, and feel the difference with AltSmoke.
Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is $15 million, and Saturday's Powerball jackpot is $60 million.
What we do is not about sickness. It's about living. All of life's moments, big and small. Each triumph and challenge. Because you were made to live, and live well. And we're here to make sure you do. Let us show you how care is supposed to be. Lexington Clinic. Your doctors for life.
You're probably wondering, with all the meat that Arby's has, do they have ocean meat? Well, wonder no longer. Arby's has more wild-caught Alaskan pollock fillets than you could ever imagine, especially if you're only imagining one fillet. Eat 2 crispy fish fillet sandwiches or flatbreads for $5. Arby's, we have the meats.
I was scared to go back to the dentist because I hadn't been in for a while. But they cut me some slack when they saw all this plaque, and they didn't make fun of my smile. I don't have insurance, but they didn't mind, which I thought was a setup for robbing me blind. But I financed my teeth, this toothpaste was free, and the numbing stuff really worked wonders on me.
No insurance? With a free new patient exam and x-rays, plus extended financing available, dentistry's never been easier. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL.
Enjoy 0% financing for 5 years and free TVs with your qualifying purchase at Sleep Outfitters. Get this Sealy Pillow Top Queen Set with gel foam on sale now for just $4.99, plus a free TV. Save up to 50% off Tempur-Pedic floor models. You heard right, up to half off Tempur-Pedic while supplies last. 0% financing for 5 years, free TVs, store-wide savings, and up to 50% off Tempur-Pedic floor models. Only at Sleep Outfitters.
Well, here in Nashville, the Wildcats have a long wait, but they will be on the court Friday night, and they now know who they will play. They get Alabama, Bama defeating Ole Miss 81-73. John Calipari talked with the media earlier today. He likes the way his team is playing. Some would say Calipari has his swagger back, Swaggy Cal. But he isn't going to say that.
I don't know what Swaggy Cal is. I don't know what Swaggy Cal is. I try to be the same guy all the time. I am, I don't take, this isn't life or death for me. You don't look at me and say, oh my God, it's not life or death, because if it was, I'd die all the time. So I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy these kids, take great pride in seeing their growth individually and as a group.
So the Cats will start off the postseason against the Crimson Tide, 7 o'clock here on Friday night in the SEC quarterfinals. In Nashville, Rob Bromley, back to you. All right, thank you, Rob. Like you said, we now know who will be Kentucky's quarterfinal opponent. The Wildcats will need to roll the Tide for a 3rd time this season. Alabama first had to beat Ole Miss earlier this evening in the 2nd round. First half, Stephon Moody launches and buries this three from, well, the other side of the moon, near half court. Moody hit 8 3-pointers, dropped 39 points. However, the Rebels were down by 4 at the break. Second half, Justin Coleman misses, but Renton Obasahan there for the putback dunk. Alabama up 8. Later in the half, tied up 7. Coleman drives, finishes the wide open layup. And then the next possession, Coleman does it again, gets inside, somehow gets that one to drop. Alabama wins 81-73. Now the Tide prepare for Kentucky.
Tough team. We've got to minimize our mistakes and not turn the ball over. Take care of the ball, rebound, and we should be in pretty good shape. That's all, because we really have a good defense. We just, rebounds kill us. And once we hit the boards, we're pretty good.
So here it is. Kentucky will play Alabama. It's tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern time. You can see it on the SEC network. Florida and Arkansas tipping things off in the first game of the day. First half, Florida was trailing by 1. Kevon Allen drives baseline, gets the bucket to fall and the foul. Gators up by 2. Later in the half, Chris Chiozza going to miss the layup. No problem, because John Egbunu there for the tip-in dunk putback. Game tied in 15. Second half, Florida up by 5. Dorian Finney-Smith gets it up ahead to Devin Robinson, and he finishes with 2 hands for safety. Florida wins 68-61. Gators advance to play Texas A&M. Battle of Tennessee between the Vols and the Vandy Commodores. In the second half, Tennessee up by 1. Armani Moore gets all 3 of those. Moore finished with 14 points. Last moments of the game. Now, this is when it got interesting. Matthew Fisher-Davis knocks down the big 3 there. Just under 10 seconds left to play. Now, Vandy down by 2 points. They have a free throw to go up by 3. They're going to miss the free throw. So after the missed free throw, Wade Baldwin dribbles the length of the floor. He's going to take it himself, appears to get it off in time before the clock goes off to force overtime. But look at the replay. It shows that it was in his hands as the buzzer sounded. So no good. Vols win 67-65. We got an update on the late game still playing in Nashville. Georgia has a slight lead over Mississippi State, currently 74-68. Well, WKYT has learned of some changes to the EKU men's basketball staff. Associate head coach Michael Bradley has been fired after 1 season, and Trent Angelucci has resigned his position as director of basketball operations. Athletics director Steve Lockmuller said in a statement, at the end of every season, staff evaluations occur. Through this review process and meeting with head coach Dan McKell, the decision was made to make changes to the men's basketball staff. You might remember Bradley. He played basketball at UK from 1997 to 1999. UK women's basketball player Michaela Epps has been named a first-team All-American by CollegeSportsMadness.com. It's the first All-American honor for Epps and the first for a Kentucky women's basketball player since 2013. Epps has averaged the team best 16.5 points per game with 4.5 assists and 4.8 rebounds per game. Congratulations to Michaela. We'll be right back after this.
All right, come on, everybody. It's time to go.
Getting more for your money is simpler than you might think. When you shop at Kroger, you get low prices throughout the store, weekly specials, great value from our quality brands, digital coupons, and even fuel points to help you save at the pump. No spin, just savings.
The Buy 5, Save $5 event is on. Mix and match items like Bounty paper towels, Land O'Lakes butter, Coca-Cola, and more. Great food, low prices at Kroger.
I've covered thousands of games over decades. You think you can beat me? Come on.
Challenge Dave Baker and play the Hoops Hysteria Tournament Pick'em game for your chance to win a 65-inch LG 4K Smart TV. Sign up today on WKYT.com.
Toyota's #1 for everyone sales event is in full swing at Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer, Greens Toyota of Lexington. Save up to $5,000 off MSRP on new Toyotas with our Green Saver coupon. Special APR offers available, including 0% APR on our most popular models. And get up to $2,000 customer cash on 13 different models. Hurry in for Toyota's #1 for everyone sales event going on now at Greens Toyota.
Great people, great cars, think Greens.
Are you happy with your bathroom? I wasn't. I thought I didn't have the money until I learned about Bath Fitter. Bath Fitter puts a new bathtub right over your old one. Isn't that amazing? Bath Fitter will measure and install right over your existing tub. And only Bath Fitter has seamless walls, which guarantees a watertight fit. Plus, they do it all in just one day. That's my favorite part. Book a free consultation and find out for yourself. Call today or learn more at bathfitternow.com.
In 1934, Steak and Shake decided the world didn't need another hamburger. It needed a steak burger. So they used 100% beef. Quick sear to seal in the flavor you'll only get from a steak burger. Steak and Shake, home of the original steak burger.
Good. Stay. Lie down.
I'd like to take this time.
Roll over. Roll over. Almost. Roll over. Good.
It took Joel Silverman years to become a master dog trainer.
Roll over. Good job.
But only a few commands to master depositing checks at Chase ATMs. Technology designed for you, so you can easily master the way you bank.
Disney on Ice presents Treasure Trove, presented by Yo Kids, live in your hometown. Tickets start at $15. Great seats are still available. Now playing through Sunday at Rupp Arena. Visit Ticketmaster today.
Did your family set a goal to become healthier in the new year? One family did and lost 300 pounds at Ageless. Bruce lost 92 pounds, Adam lost 64 pounds, and Catherine lost 151 pounds. For a medically supervised, affordable weight loss solution, call Ageless today for a free consultation.
When you play Kentucky lottery games like Pick 3 and Pick 4, you help Kentucky college students pick up scholarship money.
Fueling imagination.
Funding education.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. WKYT.
There are going to be a lot of people heading to Nashville tomorrow. What do they need to know as they're driving down?
For the most part, the weather for the trip down there is going to be okay. Still with a shower chance. In the morning when you wake up, listen, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Chances are you're going to be a little grumpy. Anyway, by the afternoon, though, on your emoji cast, some smiles with the sun appearing. How about that Saturday forecast? 75. Isolated showers and thunderstorms. It's 75 degrees at that point. Who cares? 68 on Sunday. Better chance that you will have some raindrops.
All right. Looking forward to seeing Swaggy Cal and the Cats.
That's right. Those are some swaggy emojis right there.
See you tomorrow, everybody.